Texel, the largest island in the Wadden Sea in the Netherlands. Every year, thousands of tourists visit Texel to enjoy its beaches, nature, and unique landscapes. However, tourism also brings environmental challenges, including increasing amounts of plastic waste in public spaces. Popular public areas such as beaches, town centers, ferry terminals, campsites, and recreational spaces experience high visitor pressure during the tourist season. This leads to increased plastic waste from food packaging, drinks, and recreational activities. Texel has already implemented several measures to reduce plastic waste and improve recycling. However, it remains unclear whether these measures meet the needs and expectations of the tourists.
On Texel, we researched the following question. What limitations do tourists encounter regarding plastic reduction and recycling measures on Texel, and which potential improvements do they consider most important?
We hypothesize that unclear recycling information and limited access to recycling facilities negatively affect proper waste disposal among tourists. Therefore, we expected that clear recycling information and more recycling and waste bins will be improvements most valued by tourists on Texel.
To answer the first part of our research question, we investigate which improvements tourists believe could be made to the current reduction and recycling measures on Texel. We used several research methods. First, we conducted observations in public spaces to see how tourists dealt with waste and recycling in practice. Second, we interviewed tourists from different countries and age groups to understand their experience and opinions. Third, we conducted an expert interview with Amsing Recycling, the recycling company on Texel, to gain professional insights into waste management on the island. Finally, we distributed surveys to collect additional opinions and experience from tourists.
In total, we collected responses from 84 participants. We did 54 interviews and 30 surveys. From these methods, several recurring themes occurred.
Our research revealed that several barriers that may reduce the effectiveness of current measures. 4 key improvements were identified based on issues uncovered through interviews, observations, surveys, and expert interviews.
Our survey shows that 1 in 5 respondents identify unclear information as a key issue, and 45 of the interviewees also expressed concern on the fake information on recycling. Therefore, our first improvement will be to improve signage and multilingual information on recycling bins. The second issue was the availability of recycling facilities. 48% of the interviewed tourists indicated that recycling bins were difficult to find in public spaces, campsites, and holiday accommodations.
So for the second improvement, 44.4% suggested more bins, more separation, and more collection points.
The third issue involved single-use plastics. About 25% of respondents thought that limiting the sale of single-use plastic products could reduce waste generation on the island.
Thus, the third improvement is to reduce the sale and use of single-use plastic items whenever sustainable alternatives are available.
The final issue was confusion about the Dutch deposit return system for plastic bottles and cans. Many respondents suggested improving communication to international tourists to raise awareness of how the system works.
Consequently, improvement 4 is to improve communication about the Dutch deposit system, especially for international visitors. To answer the second part of our research question, we returned to tourists with the 4 main improvements that emerged from previous interviews. Participants were asked to evaluate each proposed improvement using a 5-point Likert scale.
The highest rated improvements were increase the number of public recycling bins and separation facilities, and reduce the sale and use of single-use plastic items.
Here are some limitations.
In conclusion, our research identified 4 main opportunities to improve plastic reduction and recycling measures on Texel. Based on the results of the Boxpoint and the Friedmans test, we can conclude that improvement number 2 and a second best improvement number 3 were the best solutions most appreciated by tourists. These improvements therefore appear to have the greatest potential to increase participation in recycling and reduce plastic waste on the island.